Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. A very happy Hogmanay or New Year's Eve, whatever you are in the world, or even if you're celebrating already, the fireworks in New Zealand or Australia or even in Asia, these are all certainly welcome to the channel. Keith here from Commander Hoops. If this is your first time coming across the channel, I would kindly ask if you can like, subscribe, or even comment below. Either one of them will be absolutely brilliant for the channel. It means that we build the algorithm. But we're going to talk about players that will lead the club. We're going to talk about players that should leave the club and players that we should bring in. We're linked with a couple of players already. The transfer window is about to open in the next couple of hours. And look at Brendan needs to strengthen. He's came out and said on record that he wants to get a new winger, another left winger. We're missing James Forrest for another 4 weeks. And yes, we're doing well with Days and Maeda and Nicholas Kuhn on both flanks. And we've seen the decline of Lewis Palma in recent times as well. And we've seen Yang getting back into the side. And he's done all right. He's done all right. I'm one of his biggest critics. I'm not going to lie. But we're going to talk about Stephen Welch, first of all. Stephen Welch is a guy that came through the Celtic Youth Academy, got the breakthrough into the senior team back in 2020. He's only played 58 games for the Hoops. And let's be honest, we all know why he's played 58 games, because there's players that Brendan trusts more in that position. There's players that are more consistent. There's players that are have less injuries than Stephen Welch. And Liam Scales is one of them players. Austin Trusty is one of them players. As the same with Naroski as well. Naroski hasn't seen much first team football. That's why we've offloaded Larga Bielka to FC20 to get a bit of improvement for him as well. So it looks like Stephen Welch is on the verge of joining KV Mechelen of Belgium. Decent league, let's be honest. He's been linked to a couple of moves to Serie A in the past, and we never let him go. And I think this would be a good move for Stephen. At the end of the day, we've seen players go over to Belgium, like the likes of Hendry, that have proved. Tony Watt went over there as well. Marion Chaved went over there. Players improve in Belgium. They do improve. If they have a Celtic career at the end of it, it just depends on the manager, depends on the representatives. But it's a low move. There's no talk of an option to buy just yet. And if we were to offload him, probably get about 2 million from him as well. Look, he's from the youth academy. We could make decent fee from. You never know. I'm not a big fan of Stephen Welch. I think he's not the quickest on the ball, taking the ball up. And the injury crisis there with him all the time, picking up shoulder injuries. It's just not for me. I'd get rid of him, to be honest with you, and I wish him the very best. The next one that is on the verge of joining an MLS team is Thiago Odin Holm, the Norwegian 21-year-old guy that we signed 2 summers ago. He's only played around 16 games for Celtic. He has 1 assist in there and 1 goal as well, which he scored in the Scottish Cup. It's a guy who I thought would be a big, a player with a lot of potential. He was linked with moves to Manchester United, Juventus before we snapped him up. And, there was tipped to be a big player coming out of Norway, the next Odegaard as well. But it looks like he's going to go to LAFC on loan. And look, it'll be a season-long move. The MLS starts from February, ends around October, November-ish. So I think for him to go over there, get the sunshine in, to mature, get minutes under the belts, see how he rips it up in the MLS, and be playing against players like Abade, his former teammate. So that'd be a season-long move, and I think it's a good move for Odin Holm. I would prefer if you'd like to see him stay in Scotland, but if he's going to a league like the MLS, which is on the up, he'll do him well. Regards to Greg Taylor, this is a surprise one. Greg Taylor can officially talk to clubs now with 6 months left in his contract. I've heard rumours and I've heard reports. The only reason he's not signing the contract because he wants a good approved deal. Now, some people are saying that he wants beyond 25,000. He's currently on 18,000 at the moment in his Celtic deal. And I'm a big fan of Greg Taylor. I was a big critic of him back in the day, when he signed the new deal under ANGE's tender. I was like, can he do it? And he improved as a left back. But he's more of a squad player. Let's be honest. Left back, Alex Valley, we have on loan from Barcelona. He's made it clear on his Instagram that he'll see Celtic fans in 2025. There's no talk of him going back to Barcelona being recalled. He's a promising player, for the Catalan team, for the boys as well at the moment. So I feel more confident with Valley. I know Taylor's good around the dressing room and he's a squad player, but let him go. And the rumours and the sources, the Sun Sport, have reported that Dinamo Zagreb, the team that we only played in the Champions League recently, they're interested in signing him. They're interested in signing him if it's going to be a pre-contract for him to goes. Like, we bought him for a few quid off Kilmarnock back in 2019. We've made the money back off him. He's won trebles. He's won actually 3 trebles in the Celtic shirt. He scored vital goals in there, provided cracking assists and stuff like that. But he was tipped to be Tierney's replacement, and look, he's done a job. But regards to Kieran Tierney, everyone's still wondering what's going on with the Arsenal left back. The return of Kieran Tierney to Celtic could be on the cards. Maybe look at Sky Sports and other sources around 10 days ago published their story saying that Celtic are interested in signing Tierney back. Now, is it going to be a case where we pay a loan fee to get him for the rest of the season and then he comes on a free in the summer? Probably. There could be talks of maybe other teams down south want him as well. Tierney's 27 years of age. I made it clear in the channel I would love to see Tierney back in the Celtic shirt. I know some fans are very he's injury prone. He's missed a lot of football, average around 23 games a season. Do we really want Tierney? Yes, we do, because when he's fit and he's ready to go, he's unstoppable. He's one of the best left backs you can get. When he went to Arsenal, he was probably the best left back in the league at one point because they were dominating. They were doing well. They won FA Cups. They were in Charity Shields. They were doing well in Europe with Tierney. And it's a guy that we saw for 25 million. My honest opinion, I'd pay the loan fee to get Tierney back. I think we need cover in that. If Taylor's leaving Celtic with 6 months to go, I don't know what his head's going to be in it. I don't know if it's a case that, his best friend Luke McCown plays for the club. Will we see the best of Taylor for the last 6 months in the Celtic shirt? I'd rather bring Tierney in, get him gelled in, get him a bit of minutes under the belt, get him back from all them injuries and see how it goes. Look, Celtic have money in the bank. I hate when fans complain about, you shouldn't be paying this, you shouldn't be paying that. We have over 70 million in the bank. There's 40 million to come in from the Champions League TV revenue as well, incoming as well. So see what happens to that. Regards to players that we have been looking at, we've been looking at a guy called McEntee from Manchester City. A guy that looks really promising. He played 9 games this season, and looking at James McEntee, decent player. Now, the reports yesterday that Celtic were interested in him, and there's been fresh reports over the last couple of hours that Celtic will have a bit of competition for this Man City winger. He is 21 years of age. Yes, he has scored a Champions League goal in there. He has played 9 games this season. Fulham are interested in him. Crystal Palace are interested in him. West Ham are interested in him. And he's valued at 14 million. I can't see Celtic going out and breaking 14 million for a Premier League player. I know we done it with Arnie Engels. We went out and we spent 11 million. But it's the reality. Celtic have money coming in, but we also need to think about the summer as well, where we will have to play Champions League qualifiers as well. That could be a dent in the market if we're not successful there. But let's be honest, we're building a team for the future here. We should be okay. Hopefully we can get McEntee, even on a loan basis, maybe just to strengthen on that left flank. Regards to the right flank, there has been speculation from the Sun Sport of all sources that Spurs are lining up a move for Nicholas Kuhn. Let's take this with a pinch of salt. Let's be honest. As much as I put it into the video, Nicholas Kuhn isn't going anywhere. He's happy in Glasgow. He's at the scoring 14 goals this season already. He's on absolute fire. He's on the German team radar, Nagelsmann's radar. He's been scoring the Champions League. Why would he go to Spurs? This is a team that's very inconsistent, up and down with results. Learn from the past, Nicholas. Ange went, even though he never worked with Ange. Ange went there, and it's not working out for him at the moment. Ange is on the verge of losing his job, let's be honest. I think Ange is about 2 defeats away from losing the Tottenham job. And I don't wish that on any manager, especially one of our former managers that brought us success. But Kuhn will be linked with clubs. There's talks of Brentford are interested as well. Fulham are interested. Villa are looking at him. Newcastle are looking at him. Handful of Premier League clubs want the Celtic winger. If I was to let Nicholas Kuhn go, as much as he's not for sale, he's on a long-term contract, you'd be looking at around 35 million for Nicholas Kuhn to go, because he's young, he's energy, He's scoring goals. He can do it in the Champions League. He scores against the big clubs. Scored against against our rivals. Well, that's the Stroller Park anyway. But Kuhn won't be going anywhere, folks. Won't be going anywhere. Regards to the other winger, Lewis Palma, I've came out and said it so many times in this channel. I am not a fan of Lewis Palma. I think he tries too much showboat. There's not enough end product with Lewis Palma in recent times. Look, I know form is temporary, but when you're on fire, when you're banging goals in, you're scoring screamers. We haven't seen that from Lewis Palma this year at all. Some fans were boasting when he scored a hat-trick against Sligo Rovers. Come on, for God's sake. No disrespect to the League of Ireland. It was a friendly game. And Sligo were done well this season, but Lewis Palma needs to get the chop. If there's any team that's interested in Lewis Palma in the MLS, please, Celtic, for the love of God, let him go. Not a low move, just let him go. I was a fan of Lewis Palma last season, and it's mad that we can change our opinions like overnight. It just hasn't cut it this season. Simple as. I still feel with Yang, with one goal in there for Celtic in 45 appearances, I think a loan move for Yang would be suitable. I still feel you need to have the end product. Yes, he won a penalty. Yes, he played well in the last 2 games for Celtic. But overall, if we're moving forward as a club, we need a person that has the package, that can score goals, that has that magic. All means Yang is working his socks off, but you need to have you need to have more goals to your game as well, especially if you're a winger. Definitely at Celtic. So that's really it from me today. Do subscribe to the channel. Let's see Welch go off to Belgium. Let's see Holm go off to the US. Hopefully Tierney might come in the door. We shall see if Taylor signs a new deal. It's all a headache. I think Celtic are planning for Taylor to leave and they bring Tierney in. And yes, it may take a dent in the pocket to some fans, but at the end of the day, the club is running quite well. We're in a fantastic green, a massive surplus. Why should we be worrying about fees? It's not like we're going out like some previous clubs and forking out mad contracts and mad salaries. We're not going to do that. We've good people running the club. As much as when results are bad, everybody says sack the board, sack this, sack that. You want to put the hand up and say they're liable. But when things are good, you got to give them praise as well. We're a fantastic club, rich history, 119 trophies in our fantastic history. The world's most successful club. So let's enjoy it, because there's gonna be more trophies added shortly. And you could say at this moment of time, even though we're going for 4 in a row, some fans already are singing 10 in a row, because I can't see Rangers stopping us. I can't see them being dominant anytime soon. They changed their managers like the weather. The last couple of nights in Glasgow, all I keep seeing is this big, massive beam up in the sky. And it's not a drone. It's not Mad Planes. It's not Operation Blue Beam. It's the Grey Morty light. The Grey Morty light is up above Govan, because they know they're like, how could you want your team to lose to your bitter rivals, to have your manager sacked? It's madness. Absolute madness. You got to have pride about your team. But they're a different level anyway. So do subscribe to the channel. I'll speak to you all soon. Hail, and have a good New Year's, whatever you're up to. Hail.